guys, Steve here from Wilderness 333, and I have been tagged in the Meet the Bushcrafter series, so I'm here to do that. I wanted to thank Tom from Tom's Backwoods who tagged me on this. Just appreciate it. Thanks for thinking of me, and just the nice things, the kind things you said. I just in your video about me were awesome. I just really appreciate that. So thank you. Check out his channel if you haven't. It's a really cool channel. He does a lot of good stuff. And also, you might have noticed that I've been able to put some music lately at the beginning of my videos, and I just want to do a shout out and a thank you to Patrick. Great guy, and he's a good friend of mine, and he made that music for me, so I just really appreciate that. You know, he's actually had to evacuate his home because of all the fires we have here in Colorado, right outside of town. So hope some, thoughts and prayers are with him. Hope that works out. And again, thank you. But my story is a lot like a lot of the people I think who have answered this, that all my life I've been going out into the woods, going out into the mountains as I've lived here in Colorado. Been in Colorado Springs all my life except for when I was in college or overseas. And literally from a very early age, my parents have taken me camping, and by literally I mean 1 or 2 months old. Shortly before I was born, my parents bought some land in the mountains, and we'd go tent camping, and they would put me in a little shoebox, they tell me, and I would camp. We later built a cabin on that property, so it's been a place I've been going to all my life, getting out into the woods, learning how to camp. I mean, it was a big part of my life growing up. And I think overall though, as I've gotten older, as I've gotten into bushcraft, that's a fairly recent thing, and I'll explain how. But today, I'm filming this video in my backyard. Normally, I love to get up into the woods to film a video like this, but I wanted to do it here in the patio because when it comes to how I got into bushcraft, it literally, I think, happened right here on this patio, and I'll explain that story. And I thought it was an appropriate place to film this. As well as I can't even get into the woods. The places I love to go are all blocked off because of the forest fires. The state's kind of burning behind me out here. So, and I think, when I think of how I got into bushcraft and my love for the mountains, it all has to do with relationships. Just the relationships I have, and primarily, my relationship with God. I've talked about it before on videos, but I saw a video actually a couple weeks ago. It's a bushcraft video. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry. But if it's you can kind of annotate it in the comments. I'll give you a shout out. But he said this. He goes, "If you've watched my channel much, you know that I'm a God-fearing man." And I thought about that, a God-fearing man, and I kind of like that phrase. I think it would apply to me as well, but probably not in the way often it's talked about. It's not that I'm afraid of God or that I fear that if I have to do certain things or not do certain things, I'm in trouble. That's not the kind of relationship I'm talking about, but just that God blows me away. And that's really what he does. And out of that flows the rest of my relationships, primarily my family and friends. I love my family so much. I love putting them in my videos. My wife, Kendra, we've been married almost 14 years. We have 3 boys, including me. That makes 4. So we have a massive testosterone fest in there, my poor wife. But we have, she loves them. But we have Owen, who's 8, Teo, who's 6, Kai, he's our newest, he's 10 months old. And I feel like they just bless my socks off. I mean, they're just great, and a day with them in it is better than a day without them in it, even when they're hard. I think I'll splice in a photo of them here. But I just love my family, and another key relationship that's got me into bushcraft is gonna be my father. He passed away just almost 2 years ago. On July 16th, it'll be 2 years. He was one of my best friends. We used to hang out together all the time. He gave me all my knives a lot. We traded knives a lot. Knives became very sentimental, and I love knives because of him. And I found my first one that he gave me. I dug this out the other day when I'd be filming this video, and this is just it's a hunting knife that I had, my first fixed blade knife. It's probably a pretty decent knife. It's a Precise Fin Force or something. I can't totally read it. It was made in Finland, and this thing has drawn my blood. When I was little, I remember one time I was, shaving along on a big stick, and just don't put your thumb out, but just boom, nailed my thumb, took a big chunk out of it. I was bleeding all over the place. Seeing my blood almost made me pass out, almost made my mom pass out. And, but this actually became my first one-kit survival tool, if you will. I often, when I was little, would be really scared that if something, what would happen to me if something happened to my parents in the middle of the night while we were camping. And they wrote phone numbers in here for me. So I had my phone number at home, my grandma's phone number, and on the back was my uncle's phone number. So if anything happened, I could hike out, I'd have my knife, I could hitch a ride. I guess that was okay for little boys to do back in the late 70s, early 80s. and get home and I'd have the phone numbers I needed to get help. So it was my first little survival tool, one kit survival tool. But you know, with my dad, you know, what we would do often wherever we were is we get together, sit around a campfire and smoke a cigar and talk about life. Just countless hours spent. He got me this fire pit, and we used to spend, you know, 6 years here just hanging out, um, and talking about life, and sitting around the fire, and through those times, and just as I kind of evaluate life, as I think about it, you know, like I said, relationships are important to me. My friends, some of the best conversations I've ever had, some of the best times with my friends and family have been sitting around a fire. Even my son, my boys, they love to come out here and sit around a fire with me. I could splice in a picture of that just the other day. Teo comes out and he's like, "Daddy, start a fire for me," and he brought his little table out and he had breakfast next to the fire that I had made him, just like I had done just a few minutes before. I think I'll splice in a photo of that. I have to. But yeah, it's just, I love fire. I always have. I'm a real sensory guy. Just the smell of it, the atmosphere, the ambiance that it creates, the sound, the heat that it puts out, and it really, you know, with me more and more getting into bushcraft started with my job. I think I work for a nonprofit organization. It's a Christian organization on the college campuses here. It's called Crew. And I have a team of people who work for me, and student leaders as well. And I started something in the fall. It was called Smoky Cafe. And we'd come here to the patio, we'd sit around a fire, just the men, and we'd talk life. And it was just really, really fun. Had a great time. And Evan would always be there. He's been in a number of my videos, guy with the long hair. And he, showed up one day with the K-bar fighting knife. And he starts doing something I didn't know what it was called at the time. I come to find out later it's batoning. He started to baton the wood, and I was watching him. And I was like, "That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't know you could even do that." Next, he's making feather sticks, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And he started to teach me these things. He started to send me some YouTube videos about it that I really enjoyed. And all of a sudden, all these tools and knives and instruments and things that my dad had left me, fire steels, all that kind of thing, all of a sudden I could put them to use. I mean, the knives were great for sentimental value, could use them defensively, but now I had a real reason to use them in something I loved, and I began to really get into firecraft. And that was just really cool, and he kept sending me more and more videos. I kept getting more and more into it, practicing. I've spent a lot of dirt time in this patio. It's clean now, but it's usually full of dirt chips, wood chips, as I work on things, and just became sort of a playground for me. And I started getting up into the woods more and more and practicing this stuff, and just getting really into it. And then, you know, he tells me, there's this guy, this video series, this guy, he moved into a yurt for 40 days, and I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. But then I saw one, and then I was just hooked. Of course, the Dave Canterbury, the Journal of the Yurt, and from there, just getting into it more and more, practicing more and more, and it's been a blast. I've just really grown in my skills. I have a long ways to go. I'm not a ride by any means, but just feel a lot more competent and confident when I go out into the woods with my family or by myself. And it's just really, really fun. I love getting out there, getting away from the madness, just spending time alone or spending time in the quiet that's out there. And in addition to that, I love food. My wife and I are big foodies. We love getting into the woods and cooking because everything tastes better when you're out in the mountains. So I've made a lot of videos about that, cooking in the Dutch oven or cooking in different ways. And I love to serve people because food is culture, food is community, and it goes along with relationships and being around a fire. Everything kind of ties together for me. And so I started a channel, I think it was like back in March, put up my first video, and I almost have 100 subscribers. I think I hit 98 last night, and it's just been so much fun. I just really want to give a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed and comments and gives me tips. It's just so encouraging when I see those come in there, and just feel like I've been included in the bushcraft community here on YouTube, and I just appreciate that. Just a huge thank you. It's so encouraging. Even people walking up to me all over the place who've watched my videos here, who live in town, always so much fun. And you know, I really think that's basically my story of how I got into bushcraft, and I want to continue doing it. I want to continue growing and learning and getting out there, because it's just out there where I just find a lot of life. I find a lot of life out in the woods. So there's 3 people that I need to tag here to pass this on. So I want to do House of Fire 72. I'm going to tag him. He's got a great channel. I've been learning a lot. I've been trying to get my knives sharper, and I've been using some of his methods. So I'm gonna post a video on that soon. The Lion's Den 72. Also want to tag him. He's got a great channel to check out. I've been interacting with him, and it's been really fun. and Be Active Life. I don't think he's been tagged on this. I looked through all of his videos to see. Just a great channel. I highly recommend you check that out. He has a lot of diverse things on there, everything from bushcraft stuff to good philosophy stuff to just running around in the woods to stay in shape, even some good chin-up videos. So check him out. I'm going to tag him on it as well. And I wanted to tag a fourth person. I wanted to give a tag to Mullies and Bushcraft. This is Evan's channel, and he hasn't made a video yet. But I was thinking if he wanted to, I know he's had a channel longer than I have, and he's always wanted to make videos, so he could start with this if he wants to. Funny thing about it is I'm actually his boss. He's one of my best friends, but I'm also his boss, so maybe I can make him do, no, I'm just kidding. But I want to tag him too. So yeah, that's my story. That's meeting me. I hope it's been informative and fun. Thanks for the opportunity to do it. It's been really fun. I just love doing this. So hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again soon. Thanks.